So today I'm making my homemade whipped laundry butter. You need 1 bar of Fels-naptha, 1 cup of the Borax detergent booster, 1 cup of the laundry booster, Arm & Hammer soup and wash and soda. Both of those are in there. Take your soap, take your grater, and grate away. I want your fingernails too. Just got mine. Once grated, it's just a bunch of chunky mess. So right now I got my 5 cups of water in a pan. Some recipes are calling for 4, but they use the mason jars, the quart-sized mason jars, but they're also adding a 1/2 cup to each mason jar at the end. So I'm making it a different way today. So I added the initial 4 cups plus an extra cup to compensate for the other cup of water. So take your grated Fels-naptha, pour it in the water, lightly stir so you don't create bubbles, and let that melt down. Don't let your water come to a boil. I'll be turning the heat down shortly. I'm going to drop the heat down to a medium. And like I said, this is a new way I'm making it this time. I'm not going to use the mason jars. I'm just going to put everything right here in the pot. Let everything melt down and let it cool on the stove for 4 hours. Once it's cooled for 4 hours, that's when you're going to take either an immersion blender, if you have it. You can take a regular cake hand mixer, or if you want, you can do it the original way the YouTubers are doing it, is just use the 4 cups of water and melt your Fels-naptha, your borax, and your baking soda, washing soda that is, and you divide half the mixture into 2 quart-sized jars, mason jars, with the standard size mouth jars. And what you can do with that, when you divide it, you bring the water level up just to the curvature of the jar. And if you use the regular sized mason jars, you can actually, some blenders has the attachment that you can, they fit right on top of the mason jar, and you can actually mix it with your blender. My blender is not strong enough for that. The last time I used my blender, it was just a pain in the butt and it didn't mix very well. It worked, but of course it was just too thick. This doesn't take too long to melt down. 5, maybe 10 minutes at the tops. You just don't want to see any chunks of the Fels-naptha. You want it all nice and blended, smoothed in with the water. You can use a whisk, you can use a wooden spoon, you can use a metal spoon. Just don't use your hand. Okay, so this is just about melted. Actually, I'm not going to edit this part because I want you to see how quick this actually is to melt and dissolve. The only part I think I'll edit the video is the 4-hour wait. I'm not going to torture you staring at a cooling pot. Okay, so this is all dissolved. Good enough for me. Now take your 1 cup baking soda, washing soda, excuse me, and your 1 cup borax. Dump it in. Now you want to stir this until it's not grainy. The powder is dissolved. The powder will dissolve, and you'll be able to tell that it is dissolved by your spoon will glide much more smoother. I'm going to turn this down to low. Just stir it. You're going to get bubbles. There's no avoiding it. Just stir until it's all incorporated, dissolved. You can hear the graininess. I'm just making this video just to show my friends, family, or whoever else wants to view it, how I make this stuff. I've watched a lot of other YouTubers with their recipes, and this is a copycat recipe, a little tweaked this time because I'm making it a different way rather. I'm sure it's going to come out just as good. This is a concentrated version, laundry whip they call it. And when you use it in your washer, I have a top loader washing machine, very old, 10 years old. And you only use about a tablespoon. If you're using cold water to wash your laundry, dissolve this in a cup of water first and then put it in your washer. It just dissolves it much better. Cold water is not going to really dissolve it. Hot water will. Warm water will. Cold, not so much. Okay, this is pretty much all dissolved. I don't hear any more graininess. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kill the heat with my bowls. And this is what you got. Now, what you do, once you're happy with the product, on the back of the stove, let it cool down for 4 hours. And what's going to happen is the soaps are going to solidify again, turn solid, raise to the top. Your water is going to go to the bottom. And once it cools down, obviously out hot, let it cool so it's not hot to the touch. Then you're going to get your immersion blender or your hand mixer, and I'll show you what to do when that's all cool. Okay, so I'm back, and let me show you what this looks like. It's just vaguely warm right now. I waited 3.5 hours. I'm impatient. Anywho, let's get the mix in. Ooh. So, now I haven't done this before like this, so I found out, just like you just did right now, I pushed that down and see the liquid. I don't know if you can see the liquid. Let's grab a knife and chop up some of that. Ready for a mess? So I don't like that. I'm going to grab my immersion blender. Oh, short people problems. What I like about this, I'm going to show you the full effects and not in the power of editing. I will leave some of this in, but I will edit some of this out. Now I'm switching back to my hand mixer. I need more power. So I think the next time I make another batch of this, I'm going to cover the top with some cellophane wrap so it doesn't get so stiff and chunky. And right now I'm just whipping it up until it looks like mayonnaise. Don't lick the beaters. It's not whipped cream. Throw them in the sink right now. Nice whip soap. It does look like whipped cream though. Oh boy. Time to make some more of that. Get yourself a container. This is just an old Richardson Farms ice cream container. Good stuff, by the way. Yeah. See if I can do this without making a mess. This will last, oh, I don't know. I do a lot of laundry, just about every day. Last a month or two anyway. And for $1.50 a container, that's not too bad. It does clean your clothes. No perfumes. No dyes. I haven't had any allergic reactions. I have pretty sensitive skin. My family does too. We're just so sensitive people around here. Well, not me. Yeah. It's cheap, easy. It's not that difficult. Give it a try. So let me warn you something about this. This will harden up a bit. It's not going to stay as whippy as you see it now, and as what they say, whipped. YouTubers will not tell you that it does harden up. It's supposed to do that, I guess. But like I said, it still works. When you wash, 1 tablespoon in hot water just to dissolve it. Throw it in your washing machine with a full load. Good to go.